The Courageous Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled deep within an ancient forest, there lived a sweet little girl named Rosalind, but everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood. She earned this nickname because she always wore a vibrant red hooded cape that her grandmother had lovingly stitched for her. One sunny morning, Little Red Riding Hood's mother called her into the kitchen. "Rosalind, dear," she said, "your grandmother isn't feeling well. Would you be a dear and take this basket of goodies to her? It's filled with fresh bread, butter, and some delicious fruits." Little Red Riding Hood's eyes lit up with excitement. "Of course, Mother. I'll make sure Grandma feels better," she exclaimed. Grabbing the basket and skipping out the door, the forest path was dappled with sunlight, and birds chirped cheerfully as Little Red Riding Hood made her way through the trees. She hummed a merry tune, feeling utterly content in the beauty of nature around her. Suddenly, a sly voice interrupted her reverie. Well, what do we have here?" said a mischievous wolf, stepping out from behind a tree. His eyes gleamed with hunger as he eyed the basket in Little Red Riding Hood's hands. Little Red Riding Hood stopped in her tracks, her heart pounding with fear. She knew better than to talk to strangers, especially cunning wolves. But she gathered her courage and replied politely, "I'm on my way to Grandma's house, to bring her some goodies." The wolf's lips curled into a wicked smile. "Ah, Grandma's house, you say? Why, it's quite far, isn't it? Perhaps you'd like to take a shortcut through the forest?" "It's much quicker, my dear." Little Red Riding Hood hesitated, her instincts warning her of danger. But the wolf's words sounded reasonable, and she was eager to reach her grandmother's side. "Thank you, Mr. Wolf," she said naively, "but I must stick to the path." The wolf's smile faded, replaced by a look of annoyance. "Very well, suit yourself," he muttered before disappearing into the shadows. Little Red Riding Hood continued on her way, unaware of the danger she had narrowly avoided. As she walked, she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, but she brushed it off, eager to see her grandmother. Finally, she arrived at Grandma's cozy cottage and knocked on the door. To her surprise, the door swung open, revealing a dimly lit interior. "Grandma, are you home?" she called out. There was no answer, only a strange snoring sound coming from the bedroom. Worried, Little Red Riding Hood crept closer, her heart pounding in her chest. When she entered the bedroom, she gasped in horror. There, lying in bed, was not her beloved grandmother, but the cunning wolf, wearing Grandma's nightcap and glasses. Before she could react, the wolf lunged towards her with a menacing growl. But Little Red Riding Hood was no helpless maiden. With a quick thinking, she grabbed a nearby broom and swung it with all her might, driving the wolf out of the cottage and into the forest. With the wolf vanquished, Little Red Riding Hood rushed to untie her grandmother, who had been bound and gagged in the closet. Together, they laughed and hugged, grateful to be safe once more. From that day on, Little Red Riding Hood learned to trust her instincts and never stray from the path again. And though the forest may be filled with dangers, she knew that with courage and cunning, she could overcome any obstacle that crossed her path.